What is going on, guys? Rango12 here, and we are returning to the Civil War series with issue 5. So yes, this series is still going on, and I believe that this is the final issue for this series, and it is a brilliant finale. Now, if you can't remember what happened in the previous issues or anything along those lines, well, Iron Man actually went down into the Divide to get Jennifer Walters back, and that's when Tony Stark stumbles upon the discovery that the entire war between the Iron and the Blue has been a lie. It turns out that Varenke or Varank or whatever you guys want to call her, aka the shape-shifting alien, and her army known as the Skrulls, have been manipulating the entire war so that the Iron and the Blue kill each other off, leaving the Skrulls to take over the world. And this issue is going to be showing Tony Stark trying to convince Captain America that this fight between the two of them is wrong and a lie and all that crazy stuff. So guys, without further ado, let's jump into the final issue of Civil War. So in the opening pages of this comic, we jump in and join Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, and Tony Stark down in the Divide after escaping the Skrulls Empire, and they pretty much need to get back to the surface to warn everyone about what's been going on, about how the war is a lie, how they're fighting for the wrong reasons, etc., and potentially stop everyone from killing each other. Now, so far, what I absolutely love is just that the whole plot around this comic really feels like a movie. You know, like two characters that used to be allies used to fight side by side, and now they've been fighting each other for years, and then one of them finds out something is not right, and then obviously everything gets turned back around, everything gets reversed, and hopefully join forces again, just like the old days. But as you can see right now, Captain America is in the heart of the fight, taking on members from the Iron side of the war. And then we go up and above to what's known as the Iron flagship, and it kind of looks like a SHIELD helicarrier, and we go over to Bucky Barnes, pretty much ordering these guys to kill everything in sight, even their own team. And as you can see, Tony Stark is calling the nearest Iron Man armor to his location, and the one in there is the closest one, so that Iron Man armor flies out of that helicarrier and down to him in the Divide. And as you can see, Jennifer Walters and Tony Stark are sharing a romantic kiss, and what I absolutely love about this is the fact that Tony Stark is like in the hands of Jennifer Walters. Like usually it's the other way around. So yeah, I love that. So this page that we're seeing right now brings me over to the artwork of this comic, and I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing, especially this panel right here where it's got a giant Iron Man facing off against one of his enemies. I think it's actually Hawkeye though, but I'm not too sure. I didn't get a good look at that just then. But if I remember correctly, it was Hawkeye. And as we turn over the page, we get this very, very reminiscent scene from X-Men The Last Stand, where Captain America gets launched into Tony Stark flying through the sky. And it's pretty much the same thing that Colossal did to Wolverine, which I thought was awesome. I don't know why, but I'm making loads of movie references in this comic review, but also it reminds me of when Captain America out of the Winter Soldier jumps out of the plane with his shield and just dives towards the sea. Like, you know how Captain America's holding his shield in front of him right now? Kind of reminds me of that, and I don't know why. So once Captain America takes Tony Stark out of the sky, they both land on the Iron flagship helicarrier. So basically, Captain America has just landed in the completely wrong place. And Tony Stark actually tries to explain to Captain America what's been going on, and Captain America is just not having any of it. He's not listening at all. And I think the best part is that Tony Stark even says that he will surrender if he gets Captain America to listen. And I think that just shows the importance of how much Tony Stark wants Captain America to understand what he's saying. Like, the only reason Tony Stark is fighting back right now is because Captain America was basically about to rip his head off. And I absolutely love just how Tony Stark reveals that he's telling the truth to Captain America, and the way that he finally makes him understand. And he pretty much calls Miss Frost and Bucky Barnes up to the stage and proceeds to blast Bucky Barnes in the face without hesitation. And that is when it's revealed that the entire time it wasn't actually Bucky Barnes. It turns out that it was one of the Skrulls who shapeshifted to look like Bucky Barnes to influence Tony Stark to do things in the war against the blue side and to pretty much continue the war and stop it from ending, which in my opinion is an incredible plan. This is what I was talking about earlier on in the comic when I said that it felt like a movie. Two characters that used to be allies, that used to fight alongside each other, have been fighting for years and years, literally haven't been friends, haven't spoke to each other hardly, or anything along those lines, and then when it all comes down to it, in the end, they always end up being allies again. They always end up working together, and that is what's happening on screen right now. Tony Stark and Iron Man and Captain America teaming up to take down the Skrulls, to take down the Skrulls Empire. And something very specific that I love is that Tony Stark even knows that this is happening. He knows that they have to team up, and you can even see Captain America say here, I guess I'll have to go down there and blow it up. And Tony Stark says, yes, we will, meaning that Iron Man isn't going to let Captain America go down there by himself to do this. And I thought that was just awesome to see, especially when nobody ever thought that they'd ever see Captain America and Iron Man working together side by side ever again. Something that I thought was really interesting was when we first noticed the Skrulls, and they surprisingly look a lot either like Thanos or they either look a lot like Green Goblin. I can't decide which. I almost feel like the Avengers have assembled again, because as you can see, Captain America is protecting Iron Man whilst he reactivates this bomb that was created to take away the powers of the Iron Side. Now, one of the major things that these two heroes need to do is get everyone to stop fighting on the surface, to get everyone to understand what's going on and how the entire war is a lie. And the way they do that is by allowing Miss Frost access to the mental comms on Captain America's side so that she can speak to or show all of the heroes on the battlefield just what is going on. And it really hit me when Iron Man said, yes, but whose side am I on? And it really shown that they're both teaming up again. And you can see right here that they're just at the bottom looking at all these brilliant superheroes fly down to save them into the divide. And they look up in glory at all of these heroes and then detonate the bomb that takes away everyone's powers. And you can see that all of the people with superpowers just begin to fall, because obviously if they could fly, they no longer can fly anymore and stuff like that. And this kind of makes me question why Captain America and Iron Man did this. Now, at the end of the day, what I actually believe is that Captain America decided that none of the superheroes were worthy to have a power, and they became so blind with fighting each other that they took their eyes off the real enemy. And I don't think that's ever something that they're going to be able to live down. Again, sorry for all of the movie references, but do you remember in X-Men Days of Future Past where Charles Xavier and Magneto look at each other, you know, when they're in the future but about to be killed, and Magneto looks at Charles Xavier and he says, I'm sorry for all those years wasted fighting each other. And that is what it kind of reminded me of between that reconcile between Captain America and Iron Man. Like all these years that they've been fighting, but in the end they went out fighting alongside each other together, and that really brings a tear to my eye. So as you can see, they've built up a bridge over the divide. They've started repairing the divide. So technically, the red and the blue are coming together. Humanity is coming back together. There is no more war. There are no more sides. There are no more differences. People from the iron are living in the blue. People from the blue are living in the iron. And I think that ended really well. So what did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. That is the end of the video. That is the end of the comic series. That is the end of Civil War issue 5. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Obviously, I've said many times throughout this review that it really felt like a movie to me. It was very reminiscent of some of the major movies from superheroes. And just finally Captain America and Iron Man coming together after everything. In the end, they went out together. They fought together, and they pretty much stopped the entire war. Now that is the end of the video, guys, so go to the links in the description, follow me on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest in comic book news and updates. You can also go to my Instagram page for the giveaway for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1, and of course see what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos. And last but not least, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video for more, and I will see you all later.